Hello dear students, welcome to the course of Database Management System. Today we are going to learn about a topic Structure Query Language. We will use chapter 3 of book Database System Concept, 6th edition, written by Silbershot, Korth and Sudarshan. So today we will learn about test for empty relations under the structure query language. For that we have to use a clause exist and not exist. Empty relation means if subquery is contain no tuple, then we have to say that subquery is empty. If it is non-empty, then exist construct will return value true. So here it is written that if subquery is not equal to 5, means subquery is non-empty. Subquery is not empty, so it will return true to the outer subquery, to the outer query. So not exist will be the reverse of the exist. Here if subquery is equal 5, means subquery is empty, then not exist will return true to the outer query. Use of exist clause to denote whether subquery is empty or not. We will see the example that find all courses taught in both fall 2009 semester and the spring 2010 semester. Here first of all, outer subquery will be evaluated. Then inner subquery will be evaluated, or nested query will be evaluated. Here, if the value of outer query is match with the value of subquery, then exist will return true, and that particular value will be display in output relation. If the output value of outer query is not matched with the value of the subquery, then exist will return false, and that value will not be displayed into the output relation. Let us consider here, first of all, the outer query will evaluate 2 times and inner query will evaluate 1 time for particular value. That is, if let us consider there are 5 values, then outer query will evaluate 10 times and inner query will evaluate 5 times. For example, if let us consider one value, then that one value will compare with the inner query value. If it is true, again that value will be displayed by the outer query. So that means outer query is evaluating 2 times. So let us consider the example of course ID taken from the section table as a rename as a capital S, where semester is equal fall and year equal to 2009. So this course ID is taken with the help of condition that semester is fall and year equal to 2009. If this course ID we have to check exist in the subquery or not. So in the subquery it will select all the records from section as a table T, where semester is equal to spring and year equal to 2000, s dot course ID and t dot course ID. So this matching is going on, that this course ID having scope here inside the subquery, hence it is called as a correlation name or correlated subquery. That is, scope of evaluation or scope of execution of course ID is also inside this subquery. So S is called as correlation name, means outer relation also we are using in the subquery for the evaluation or for execution or to check the conditions. correlated, it is called as inner query is called as a correlated subquery, and course id evaluation is called as a scope of that course id from outer to inner. So the condition will apply here on all the records, that spring 2010 and yes dot course id matching is going on in the set. If it is match, that means the particular course id is also in fall 2009 and it will also in spring year 2010. Hence exist will return true and the course id will display into the output relation. Now again second record will come from the outer query. From the second record it will take a course id, and the second record will be based on the fall year 2009. That course id again will come into the inner query or subquery, will be checked with the course id of the inner query, and if it is not match, that means that course id is only for fall 2009 but not spring year 2010. Hence exist will return false and that course id will not display in output relation. Reverse case of the exist, that let us understand to the example. Find all the students who have taken all courses offered in biology department. Here all the student means we have to select the distinct s.id. So each student will be identified by the s.id and its name we want to display, that is find all students. So if student have duplicate name but their id will be different, so distinct keyword will not display any duplicate value of particular id. First of all, the outer query will be executed from the student as a yes. Rename is yes. So student table has a name yes, and we are taking s.id and s.name. Then with the help of this s.id and s.name, we are checking inside the subquery, that select course id from course where department name is equal to biology, except selective.course id from text as a t where s.id is equal t.id. So initially the first nested query lists all the courses offered in biology. So it will do the difference, set difference, that is it will select all course id of department is equal to biology, and from that we are checking the whatever student and his name is coming is mapping with the t.id on the text table. If it is match, that means that particular student belongs to biology department and that we want to display on the screen. Hence if it is not exist here, if that sid is true and it is not exist here, then it will return true and that particular student will be displayed as output. That here we are subtracting the first query minus second query. Second query will be list all courses particular student took, means here we want only interested into the biology instead of other courses. So all courses will be taken and only biology will be taken from these courses. Hence not exist is working. So not exist is working in terms of a reverse of the exist case. If this s.id and s.name is not exist in the output of the inner query, then it will return true and will be